3 iPhones walk into a bar, and I'll finish the rest of that joke at a later date. That's about as far as I got this morning while using the toilet. Consider subscribing. But the purpose of this video is to share a feature that I've come to appreciate when using an Android device that for iPhone users, they just aren't aware of the fact that it's there. The backstory is sometimes when I talk on the phone with one of my cousins, there'll be like maybe a brief pause at one point in the conversation, or maybe the moment that he picks up the phone, there's like a brief pause or something. But essentially, there's another person on the phone, and I'm always just like, somebody else on the line? And yeah, usually it would just be his brother, my other cousin, and there's nothing nefarious going on. It's just, oh, I didn't realize somebody else was on the line, and boom, we continue the conversation. Not that big of a deal. So what I wanted to display though is how that looks when all 3 of these phones are in the same room. And right now, in front of you, there are 3 iPhones. This one is going to be called Rogue Phone because I will be taking the SIM card out of this device and placing it in other devices. This one is Blue iPhone, even though it's almost white. And this one is Black iPhone. So let me go ahead and just turn these little guys over. And here we have all 3 devices. So what's going to happen is I'm going to dial from the Black iPhone to the Blue iPhone, and then I'll dial from the Black iPhone to Rogue Phone, and then I'll merge the call and you'll see what happens. And I guarantee you, you will not be surprised. So in my contacts list, all I have right now are these 2 contacts. I'm going to tap Blue iPhone, and now Black iPhone is dialing Blue iPhone. Over here, we can see that there is an incoming call. I've muted both of the phones, so there's not a bunch of echo, but right now, the 2 phones are connected. I'm gonna come back over here to add, then I'm going to tap Rogue Phone, and now Black iPhone is dialing Rogue iPhone. So over here, we can see that there's an incoming call. Mute that. So now, this phone is on hold. These 2 phones are connected. I'm going to merge the calls. And now the calls are merged. And right here, you can see it's connected to Black iPhone. This one's also connected to Black iPhone. But this phone is aware that it is in contact with these 2 devices. But these 2 devices are not aware of each other. Really not that big of a deal. And as I was mentioning before, usually when I'm in some type of conference call type situation, I'm aware of everybody that's on the line. But the other day, a friend of mine and I were on the phone and we were talking, and this individual said, hold on 1 second. And then maybe 4 or 5 seconds later, I hear another voice on the line and I immediately hang up. Because 1, I realized what this person was attempting to do, and I said, I don't want to be a part of that. But that individual, I know, has an Android device, and if they were paying attention to what was going on the screen, they probably would have realized that somebody else is on the line. So out of respect for that person and not to cause any drama, I immediately hung up the phone once I heard another voice. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the SIM card out of this device and place it in another phone. So let me end this call. And boom, now over here, we're just back to these 2 devices in contact with each other. Now here we are again with our 2 iPhones, Blue and Black iPhone, and I've placed my SIM card in this ZenFone 9, so an Android device. For the sake of convenience, these 2 phones are still connected, and I'm just gonna go through the same process. Add, and I'm gonna tap Rogue Phone. Over here, it's recognized that, the contact is familiar, so I'll just say answer. Okay, so right now, this iPhone is connected with Rogue Phone, and over here, yes, time is going up. And I'm going to merge the calls. So over here, we're watching, if it could focus, and as I tap merge on the other iPhone, see? Right now, it has changed from just one individual's name to conference call. So the Android device is aware of the fact that there are more than just these 2 phones talking. Doesn't really know who is right here in the middle, but it's aware. This iPhone is aware of the fact that there are multiple people involved because this one did the dialing. Whereas this iPhone that's here in the middle, yes, is in contact with this phone because it received the call from it, but is not aware of the fact that there is another person on the line. Is this groundbreaking? No, but it's one of those nice haves. Like, oh, I didn't know that the phone knew how to do that or was capable of doing that. But it is nice to see that it actually does do that. I really need to work on the focusing of this camera. So I am happy to see that this is an option when it comes to Android. And originally, I thought it was an exclusive feature for the Zenfone 9, but as you'll see momentarily, it's something that's just a part of Android. I've gone ahead and placed the call with this Pixel 8. And yes, black iPhone is stored in its contacts. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to press merge over here and watch what happens on the screen of the Pixel 8. Conference call. So it is aware of what's happening. Meanwhile, dummy in here in the middle is just like, oh yeah, talking to my buddy on another iPhone, not completely aware of what's happening around. So yeah, not super important, but just happy to see that this is something that is built into Android. And one more example, and one more time, and these two phones are already connected. We are talking to Rogue Phone. Black iPhone is stored as a contact. That's what happens as I press merge, and I didn't change the volume, I didn't change the brightness settings. But when I click merge, it's gonna be real quick, and I know the camera is not going to focus on it the way that it should. But merge, call on hold, and conference call started. So it lets you know so quickly right there, even though it doesn't stay on the screen the way that I wish that it would. So again, we are here connected. This phone is aware of what's going on. This phone is only aware of one additional phone. And this is a Galaxy S23 over here. It is aware of the conference call, but unfortunately it doesn't keep that message on the screen the entire time. I just like sharing information. I thought it was pretty cool. No, I'm not routinely concerned about whether or not people are eavesdropping, but it came to mind given that situation that I recently explained. And it really did take me back to when I was maybe in high school. All right, I am grown. I haven't done anything like that in a while, but I'm not going to say that I've never done it. When we were kids, yes, you might call somebody on the house phone and say, hold on, I'm gonna call so-and-so and I'm gonna click over so you can listen in on whatever that we're talking about. And I know that people have done it to me.